And time to get into the advisory now with the age-old question, how much money do I need for retirement? Justine Marquet from Allianz Retire Plus joining me on set. So Justine, how can annuities improve the amount of income that Aussies can receive throughout retirement?
There's a few different ways that the annuity strategy will help increase the amount of income. The main one being that we can set aside an amount of money where we have a guaranteed lifetime income that's being provided as a layer of income in someone's retirement. So what that means is it removes the issue of volatility and ever decreasing income over time as people draw down. And so people are less vulnerable to things like sequencing risk during the decumulation phase. So they've got this sort of guaranteed level, and then they can invest the rest of their portfolio perhaps differently than they would otherwise to get more growth potential and look at sort of how they work in maximising the performance of the rest of their portfolio, given they've got secure income put aside. So there's that. In addition, we know through running these annuities through stochastic models as part of an overall portfolio that it increases the probability of success of hitting a particular income target. So we can either improve the probability of reaching an income target, or for the same level of probability, we can increase the amount of income we're going to receive.
What are some of, I guess, what the pros and cons though are? You've talked against, I guess, some of the pros, but what are the cons?
A lot of the cons are perceived cons, I must say, because they're about, I guess, what used to be the annuities in market. So annuities have changed, but there are certainly trade-offs with some kinds of annuities. So where we seek to use an annuity in order to decrease the amount of assets that someone is having assessed to access the age pension, which is a common strategy, there is a trade-off in terms of the amount of underlying capital and death benefits that could be accessed over time. We're limited by what's called the capital access schedule. But there are new annuities now that aren't focused on targeting the age pension. So for clients that have higher net worth or who are more income tested or lower net worth, they can access an annuity that gives them fully flexible access to the underlying investment, but still gets them that guaranteed income.
So what would be the basic strategy then that you would talk people through?
I think the basic strategy is, well, in my view, plan early, because with rates the way they are, there's an opportunity to lock in rates now, but you don't have to take income now with these kinds of new style deferred annuities. So you can still grow the investment, but lock in your rate for later, your lifetime income rate. So that is an important part of the strategy, planning early. Also, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Also, the other part is it's not a whole portfolio solution. So looking at allocating maybe somewhere between 20 and 40% of the portfolio, and then continuing to grow that in a market-linked annuity, and then having the rest of the investment portfolio also growing so that it can be sustained for the whole of someone's life, because of course people are living longer.
Absolutely, and with living longer also comes the challenges to the original point. Are you going to have enough money in retirement? What do you say to people that, I know everyone's thoughts and lifestyles are different, but just in terms of how you sort of get to that point, and I guess it's planning as early as you can.
Planning as early as you can, yes. I think locking in one layer of at least, I mean certainly we see in other jurisdictions in the US and Europe, people will put multiple annuities in place, you know, to start at different times, but having a layer of foundational income so that you're not ever having to live on the age pension alone, that's supplementing any income you're earning off your other investments is important. That's really the best way to secure income for life, given the longevity that we're all facing into. I think also having an understanding of the costs that will come later in life. Aged care costs are currently subsidised by the government. Those subsidies are reducing from the 1st of July, and I think we'll continue to see that happen over the decades, because we've got this ageing population, a shrinking tax base proportionately, and so we simply won't be able to fund the levels of age pension and aged care subsidies that we do now going down the track. So people need to plan for that.